Ashish Malhotra joins us from New Delhi. He is a journalist who writes for CityLab, The Guardian, Al Jazeera English, and more. Thank you so much, Ashish, for joining us. First of all, would you characterize this election essentially as a race pitting Hindu nationalists, those supporting Modi, and secularists, so those supporting Gandhi, his opponent?
Well, I don't think I would boil it down to that much of a single issue election. And certainly that is a very important issue, as you've seen in that report there. There is a strong sense in India today that over the last 5 years under this government, the secular identity of the country has been frayed. And there's a few reasons for that. We've seen a lot of sort of incidents of cow-related violence to do with the slaughter of cows or the consumption of beef, because cows are, of course, revered for India's Hindu majority population. And so you've seen a lot of cow vigilante groups, as they're called, sort of taking matters into their own hands, but very often mob lynching people, killing people just because of rumors that person may have killed a cow or consumed beef. The government has been sort of seen as sort of responsible for this in some ways, in the sense that as a Hindu nationalist government, they have engaged in a lot of religiously divisive rhetoric over the last few years. And when these cow-related incidents of violence have taken place, the Prime Minister in particular has been accused by his critics of not doing enough to clamp down on these groups. Often when these incidents take place, you don't actually hear anything from Prime Minister Modi. And so that's been one of the big criticisms there. But as I say, that despite all of that, when you talk to people on the ground during this election, when you talk to political analysts, it's quite clear that many people feel that's not really the biggest issue that's going to sway voters one way or the other. As important as it is, what seems to be a bigger issue right now is the economy. When it comes to big promises that Modi made in 2014 when he ran on the economy, he was seen as very pro-business, and the business community was very excited to have him come in. But he's actually enacted a few very controversial policies that have actually dented his popularity within the business community and hurt small businesses. And so there's a strong sense that if Prime Minister Modi was not to win a second term, or if his vote share was to come down for his BJP party, it would be because of the economy rather than issues of intolerance.
Ashish, you mentioned the economy, and surveys suggest job creation is a big issue. How much could this hurt Modi at the polls?
Yeah, as I say, the economy really is the big issue that people feel could hurt Prime Minister Modi at the polls, and job creation is a big part of that. There was in January a finding that a government report that showed that unemployment was at a 45-year high. That report was actually its release into the public sphere was delayed, and that caused a lot of controversy with people accusing the government of trying to hide this information from the public. Two members of the government body that was involved in coming up with those statistics resigned over that controversy. And so it certainly is a hot button issue. But beyond the controversy of whether or not the government was hiding that information is the fact that those statistics are there, and they're very sort of glaring in the way that they show that job creation has not really met the standards that Prime Minister Modi had promised as he was running for office. And it's a major issue, especially among the youth, with people looking for jobs. I mean, I was just on the ground in Uttar Pradesh, which is the most populous state in the country, and talking to people there, again, as I said earlier, it was clear that if people are going to vote against Prime Minister Modi this time around, it'll be because of economic grievances.
We'll see how this vote plays out. Ashish Malhotra, thank you so much.